Alright, I want to talk about layout. I know I've discussed a few things, but one thing I want to mention is that many people just tell you find halfway in the wall, so right in the middle, start your first piece there and work your way out. I have used that in the past. Now, that being said, I very rarely now use it. There are a lot of other factors that come into play, especially when you got things like windows, and depending on where the tub comes out to, how big the tile is, there's a lot of issues like that that you really want to think ahead before you just go ahead and do it. So starting in the middle and working your way out will work. There are other options that are better in my opinion. So with this window, as you can see, the way I did, I'm not centered on the middle line here, but what I've done is I made these up the sides almost perfectly even. Now, I wasn't able to do it perfectly for other reasons, but you'll see in the corner, and this is this is one of the reasons some people say, oh, that's not the right way because you can't have this in the corner. You'll see that there's smaller pieces here. Now, that actually was intentional because of the way I had to do things. In order to make this look good, I had to have this smaller. And because I knew over here I was going to start with a full tile, it would end up end up being a small piece. So it is thought through, and it's something that you really need to make sure you do as well. Don't just say, well, I can do this or I can't do this, because think the whole process through. I also didn't want a really small piece right here beside my inset, so I couldn't start a smaller piece here. So that's why I needed to go full, so I could go half, because if my grout line was over here, then you would be running up and having multiple pieces here, which definitely in my opinion would not look good. So hopefully that makes sense. Starting halfway does work, but look at the whole picture. And the whole picture in this case with a window definitely changes it. You need to look at also where your tiles on the corner end up. So you'll see that there's a small one here, and then I have a bigger one here. Up above I have a small one on this side, and then a bigger one here. So if you do measure across and you find, okay, there's a smaller piece, or whatever size for that matter you end up with, you don't want to have, say, a big piece here and a big piece here, because then you would have, if these two were switched, then that small piece would be beside that small piece, and you'd have these weird grout lines all the way up, which obviously would not look good. So make sure when you figure it out, you have large with small, because what happens is then it almost looks like the piece has just kind of done a 90. It almost looks like it's a full piece that's done a 90-degree turn. Same with this guy, full piece, 90-degree turn. So again, things to think about when you do your layout.